Part two, I guess, to the artist in recovery, Mr. Darrell. 5:23 in the morning, West Coast time, still the 6th of December, 2023. You know me, the Weaver John C. of Roseman, California. Yeah, I'd watched half your video so I could comment about it, and then I listened to the other one. I'm like, you still missed the point. See, I'm not convinced, unless we actually have evidence for the court trials, whether or not if Washington is actually innocent or not. I understand you were talking about it from one particular point of view concerning about drug dealing and how fentanyl is bad. And yeah, it is bad out there. But I'm looking at context at this point over here, why he was pulled over in the first place. If he was still on the road fixing a car, why did the cops suspect him of drug trafficking unless they were actually investigating this guy? Was he on the radar? And where was the other backup? Just one unit? I got questions on this one. If a cop comes by to offer assistance, that's one thing. But how did the cop know? Or how did the cop suspect he was drug trafficking? Was there evidence? Was there any investigations going on? Was there something that triggered the cop to do this action? The clip doesn't show it. So we're going to have to be going by what the cop says at this point over here versus what the Vic happened to say, the defendant. If there were any other witnesses in the area, it's going to be he says, she says. It's also going to be depending upon the video. Now, the cops have been suspended already upon further investigation. I'm also looking at civil rights violation here. You're not looking at it that way. You don't tase a guy after you got him in handcuffs at this point over here unless he's going to be resisting like crazy. And why did she do it, and why did she say the way she did it? These are the things that the state of Alabama is going to have to be looking at. It's also the county is going to have to be looking at this one. Not to mention if the attorney hired or public defender is going to decide that this is going to be bumped up to a federal level. Civil rights violation. Now, they're going to have to be investigating through everything on this one. Was there even a dash cam on this one? Most vehicles, as I keep coming across, have the dash cams out there to record things. This wasn't in a pursuit, so this was basically pulled over. There also has to be radio transcripts on this one. You see, you're basing it off of one particular video at this point over here, when there has to be more to it than that. And that's why I mentioned about the 1992 situation with Rodney King. Because for me, I lived it. I seen it. I was in the San Fernando Valley at the time, working. We didn't know, but we've always heard that cops had a problem concerning about with the blacks and the Mexicans. Mexicans, hell, Latina. It's easier to call them Latina. Because it didn't matter which particular nationality that they were, their generations were. They were still Latina. And the cops still had a problem with that one. They still had the racism going on. Even though we did have blacks versus blacks on that one. Black cops versus black people. And they still had problems talking about that too back in those days. So we had the segregations going on left and right. But this situation, the four officers that were getting national fame on this one, or shame. I mean, hell, you can Google this one here. They get acquitted on the local level, but they get prosecuted on the federal level, and they had to do some time on this one. We lost track. After they got into the federal system, that was it. They were gone until they came out of it, and still disappeared off the radar because we never knew what the hell happened afterwards. Nobody ever followed up on the Rodney King trial or the 1992 riots. Even I forgot all about the damn thing. Until we started getting into more and more of the beatings, and videotapes are coming out there. People are bringing out cameras left and right. You see, it's important to have video to document anything and everything going on. Because in this way, it's on record. We have something to research. We have context to start with. What I seen on that video that you posted out there, it's a little bit of context, but there's more to it than that. There has to be. To me, it's a he says, she says. And without the video, that's exactly what it is. Cops word over Washington word, and then now if Washington happened to die on this one would have been put more through it. They did release his criminal mugshot out there, but they got to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt whether or not he actually is involved in drug trafficking. They got to prove it. They got to prove it. There has to be links to this situation over here. Is he involved with the drug dealing? Is he involved with drug trafficking? Is there any evidence on it? Conversations he had with other people. Not manifest, but something physical to connect him with. Otherwise, circumstantial evidence, and yeah, some cases are made with it. But there's got to be more to it than that. Now, you're telling me about the drug fentanyl as a powerful drug. Yeah, it was. So was angel dust back in its heyday. People said marijuana doesn't lead to other drugs. Well, they were wrong as hell. We both know that. That's why I never liked the legalization of the marijuana out here in the first place. And also the dipshit Democrats, if we want to open up that damn Pandora's box. They're thinking marijuana is safe. They're also fucking high. I smell it on a constant basis out here. It's bad enough when we actually had pot shops all over the damn place in Roseman. Businesses dried up. They left empty shelves. Here comes the pot dealers. Call themselves medical marijuana dispensaries. Bullshit. Pot dealers. Drug trafficking. We actually had Kern come in with officials to shut down places, give notifications, and places dried up, mostly. Very few dispensaries. They actually got permitted. Paperwork, bureaucracy, all that sort of bullshit. Just so we can get people high. They call it getting rid of pain left and right. No, it's to make them stupid. Law made by stupid people. For stupid people. But people are going to be arguing about that one. Says, well, it gets rid of my pain. I live with my pain. I live with my pain. I'll deal with it. And I'll manage with it too. But I'm not going to have some damn cop pull me over and said, you're arrested for drug trafficking. Prove it. Resisting arrest, not good. Washington didn't, but the cop used excessive force. That in itself is a civil rights violation right there. That's against the federal. So she's going to have a lot to answer for and explain to the DA if there is going to be prosecutors on this one here ready to look at her particular record. Whether or not this cop actually had a record of excessive use. See, there's more to it than what we're shown. There's more to it than just a simple arrest. Always is. There's always a story in there, Dal. You just gotta hunt for this one and wait sometimes for the facts to pop up and then try to tear the damn things apart. I agree that fentanyl is dangerous. I agree about the damn drug dealers out there. Let me tell you something about back then in the turn of the century. I'm not talking about this particular century, too. I'm talking about last century. My brother had to deal with him. Pissed off one particular coke dealer. It pissed off one particular cartel. Barely lived a day on that one. Well, my brother's dead, so the cartel can't do a damn shit for him. There was a situation that happened. My brother got involved. You don't steal from a drug. You don't steal from a cartel. The guy who put out the contract, well, currently he's a memory now. At one time, my brother was telling me the story. When Ma and I kicked him out in the streets, he did stuff he wasn't supposed to do. We both know that when you're on the streets, you do anything and everything just to get that hit, to get that survival going on. Anything and everything to survive. We both know it. He barely talked to anybody else about this one. I don't know all the information he had with him because it's all dead and it's gone, buried. Nothing. I don't know any of the details except I know he pissed off a drug lord. And he had the federal government trying to protect his ass. Got to a point where there was a little bit of a drug war, and then the guy who sent out the contract, he himself got killed. So my brother didn't have to worry about after that. So I don't argue about it. I stay away from this stuff as much as possible. I've heard about the drugs out there, pieces here and there. Only what I glean from media. But I know about how bad addiction of marijuana is, regardless of what form the damn thing is. If it was chemically safe and not addicting, bullshit. It's still chemically addicting and it's unsafe. And nauseating to smell. Constantly, I'm smelling this damn shit all over the damn place. Even with the dispensaries out, I still got neighbors using the damn stuff. Makes me want to throw up all the damn time. My brother did that at home before Ma kicked him out. He'd smoke it outside. He didn't want Ma to know. She suspected, but she never talked to me about it. Until when it got to a point where she was going to be sick and tired, and she talked to me about it. And then I had to talk to her about it. And then we kicked him out. And 3 or 4 months later, he comes back as a skeleton. And he had to change his life around a great deal. He died clean and sober, and I'll say that again, clean and sober, 32 years of it. Long, hard road on that one. He knows about he knew back then how addicting this damn stuff was. He hardly ever went to NA meetings, even though he did use marijuana like crazy. There had been a few meeting halls that actually would allow cross on that one. They'd give a little leeway because it's still addiction. I would have fit in with the Naranons and the Al-Anons. If I still continued, I still would have been fitting in. What I meant is, I would have considered myself in that situation, but not considered myself as an addict, even though I am an addict. Of different sorts. And I came into the halls because I had no choice. I wanted to live and I wanted to survive. I didn't want to die, but man, I was on a course to kill myself. The exactly helped me much because I was also on my own addictions. So I needed the other halls to help me out. I'm grateful for the program because it helped me out a great deal more than what I thought of. I benefited through it, even though I didn't realize it. When you're hooked up to a power greater than yourself that is trying to help you restore you to a level of sanity, shit. I still didn't know what sanity was. What was sanity? I wasn't saying it because everyone else was freaking nuts. Much like we're talking about on a videotape. And I don't know what the hell her major malfunction was. There's more to it than we see, than we're hearing. Always is. It's a knee jerk reaction, my friend. But it still needs to be said out there anyway. Because you don't know what the hell's going on with your body, especially when you have a knee jerk, because there's something wrong with the electrical system or with the muscular system or maybe something else that's causing a jerk. There's always more to be added to the story than what we know. So keep that in mind next time you're doing videos. I mean, I appreciate the viewpoint concerning about drug dealers and stuff like that. Yeah, we still need to be reminded of those assholes. But when I'm taking like a contact that's being shown out there, I know there's got to be more to it than that. So this is basically a stay tuned kind of a situation here, Daryl. Because I'm still expecting more information on it. We're already seeing on the main media what the hell's going on with other things happening. And it's scarier than crap that we're seeing all these damn things happening. I can't understand what the hell's going on with our world. And I don't get it. And I'm not supposed to get it. I'm supposed to learn how to deal with it and survive through it. And right now, as it is, I think yours should be like stay tuned until something else happens. So I'm going to be sending a couple of videos out as soon as I get it processed. I'll talk to you later.